The volatility on Bitcoin has dropped so much that it's probably a stablecoin now. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is Da Vinci. Today I'm not in the pipe 5x5. I'm just 1x1 today. But, I'm bringing the show to you anyhow. I'm actually sitting down, right? That's how, a little bit, under the weather I feel. But hey, I'm here. I'm not square, and we're going to do a show. We're going to have fun. And the people watching today, thank you for coming to watch. I really appreciate you guys. And if you want to come and watch in the mornings when I do the show at 8:30 approximately, you can do so by heading over to levex.davincij15.com and signing up under my affiliate link. And then you can watch this show live in the morning because we actually post this here, and then you can actually check that out. Also, you know what? You need to do, as governments around the world take their time to figure it out and take their time to understand that people should be free to trade. There is only this exchange for worldwide people to actually make trades without having to worry about the government saying no. So here you go. I brought you this exchange, weex.davincij15.com, especially if you live in the land of the not so free and the home of not so brave, who would be too afraid to use this exchange because, hey, they feel the government's going to come after them. Hey, well, if you feel that way, that's the way you feel, and no one should say anything else. But don't expect greatness in your life if you don't take risks, right? All right. The financial summit's coming up soon, so hopefully I will see you guys there. All right, let's go on, jump right into the news, right? This is the news we're going to be covering today. Links should be in the description below. Just in, El Salvador smashed buys another 11 Bitcoin. Whole 11. We have I feel like it's small because when you see Michael Saylor doing 10,000 at a time, you're like, okay. But wait, dude, wait. There'll be a future where, a country buys one and they say, woo, rich there, man. Buying a whole Bitcoin over there? Wow. Now, you can be the person who actually, be the one who holds that one Bitcoin or not. Choose, right? Start buying Bitcoin now, right? Over time, you will find a way to get more than one, right? And so that's the goal. That's the objective, right? Because, man, when the time comes and a one Bitcoin is like 10 million or even $20 million worth of value here, right? Of today's value, you're going to regret it if you don't have that Bitcoin stack there. And most people are just going to be like, oh my God, Da Vinci, you're just so lucky. I'm not lucky, man. It's hard. It's hard to hold Bitcoin when, there's stuff you could buy, right? There's stuff that people need. My family needs or my friends need or whatever. But I have to save it. I have to hold it for the future. It's really that simple. Okay, moving on. Let's play this, right? Because this is interesting, right? Stable coins. It's about stable coins, and I think the best stable coin to use is obviously Bitcoin. We'll talk.
I want to say additionally, we're excited about working with both the House and Senate on stablecoin legislation. I know Senator Haggerty introduced a bill today. This stablecoins really have the potential to ensure American dollar dominance internationally, to increase the usage of the U.S. dollar digitally as the world's reserve currency, and in the process create potentially trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. treasuries, which could lower long-term interest rates.
Well, you know what? He's not wrong. He's not wrong. However, the way the U.S. government is spending money and the way the banks are just printing money out of nothing to bail out their friends, the problem is, right, that dominance will just be destroyed because of that. not because of tether stablecoins. Now, stablecoins will speed up the demise. Unfortunately, what he doesn't understand is if they don't actually act responsible with the dollar, right, it will speed up the demise, right? But if they started acting responsible, then it would not. It's simple as that, right? If you don't bail out your friends and you let them go bankrupt, right? Yes, some economists say that if the U.S. government, if there's a massive default, right, then the U.S. government will default, and then that becomes a problem. And it's not, right? It's not a problem if the U.S. government defaults on its debt. Yes, it would hurt a lot of people, right? It would mean that the elderly would not get their pension plans and so forth, and a lot of things would be wrong, but people would survive, right? It'd just be hard, right? It'd just be hard. Now, of course, that is one hard, and another hard is, well, you know what? We can't do that. We can't let people suffer, so we'll just print more money, and that'd be another hard. That's it. So which hard do you think they're going to do? Every government takes the easier hard, which is to print more money and inflate so that their friends are fine and you are not. So either way, you're going to get burned. All right, so this is interesting. The Bitcoin volatility hit record low. Stablecoin transaction values top Visa. ARC Research probably is saying, okay, this is interesting. I did not know this, but you can see from the earlier days, obviously, it was 200% movements, like easily. I remember that. I remember those days. And then, the volatility has come down heavily. Now we're at 50% movements in a year, I guess, year's time. And yeah, we're going to see that drop to low below 10%. Once it drops to 10%, it's too late for you guys to buy Bitcoin, right? If this chart goes down to 10%, it's a stable coin, and it's basically the currency of the de facto currency of the world. And so you will miss out on a lot of gains at that point because there's going to be no more gains. I mean, it's still going to be gains, but there won't be like massive gains. There'll be like 10%. Maybe we'll gain 10 to actually 2 to 10%, depending on the population growth. And it will slowly level off to the population growth with Bitcoin. And of course, with the amount of irresponsible people, losing their Bitcoins to, not securing them properly. Bitcoin block size grows to 4 megabytes with inscriptions. Okay. Well, scrolling down, right? And you can see here, this is a chart of the growing size of the growing block size. Right now, probably this does not include the current block size, which has probably gone into 4 megabytes, but I doubt it. I think that there's a few that happens to be 4 megabytes. Bitcoin originated as a simple peer-to-peer payment protocol, but in its 2021 Taproot upgrade enabled the network to support more complex activities, including creating and trading other types of tokens and minting non-fungible tokens, NFTs. Okay, yes. Now, here's the thing about NFTs and stuff like that, tokens and stuff on Bitcoin network. Because the network has a low number of block size, right? And there's different block sizes everywhere. Scaling block size, like for example, Solana, I remember reading in this, as I said, the Solana has a block size of 128 megabytes. Yeah, there it is, 128 megabytes, according to Solana Foundation, right? It doesn't matter, right? These block size, they need to focus on what the network was useful for, it's to transfer wealth, right? I really don't think the inscriptions and all that kind of stuff should be used on the network, but that's not for me to decide. That's for you to decide if you want to use, all kinds of tokens and stuff on Bitcoin. But it's also going to be expensive because the block size for Bitcoin is going to be 4 megabytes. I think that's maximum is 4 megabytes that it could possibly do. And what does that mean, right? Long term for Bitcoin. The reason why they fought to keep the block size small is because they want to be able to one day, I don't have my phone here, but place the whole blockchain on phones and have everybody have access to the blockchain on the phone, this would prevent government takeover. This would prevent any kind of like shenanigans from the government or governments that decide, hey, you know what, this transaction is incorrect, we're going to re-roll it back. No, that's not going to be possible because everybody has Bitcoin on their devices. As that becomes a possibility with smaller block size, right? Because of the growing Moore's Law, right? And so Moore's Law is outpacing the size growth of the Bitcoin block size and a whole blockchain. And so effectively, this ensures that Bitcoin cannot be stopped or cheated in the future. If it can be stored anywhere or in any device. And that's what's important for Bitcoin, if you ask me. I think this is the most important thing for Bitcoin, is to have it on all devices everywhere. Yes, you say, well, don't we have it in devices right now? Well, you have it with what's it called, a light wallet, right? Where it actually has to rely on other nodes in order to get the data of who has what. And that creates obviously issues where, you have to trust somebody else to check and verify whether or not the network is valid, right? The more you have to rely on someone else, the higher the chances of something being awry. If your device is validating everything, right, then, well, there's no choice that for sure that all transactions are correct. And that's the whole point. Okay, we're going to do some trading now. We're going to see if we can actually make a trade today. And if you're interested in trading, you can do so at levex.davincij15.com or watch this live show by signing up at levex.davincij15.com. Also at bybit.davincij15.com. This is the cheapest place you can get ID, and I think it's very important that you actually get yourself some ID from some sort of other nation, especially if you are in the worst places like Europe and Canada and UK. Before crypto, that's just the way the world works, right? The governments do not want you, sovereign or wealthy, because then that doesn't help them. It doesn't help the corporations if you don't need to work for them anymore. So, yeah, get yourself into crypto and learn how to make money in this, or else, well, you'll always be a slave to the corporation and governments, right? It's unfortunate if you do that, but hey, that's your choice. Okay, moving on. You can see, whoa, we have like maybe a little bit of a bull flag here happening. But remember, right, there is something called the trend is your friend to the end, right? Whilst we are having a flag here, right, we could draw that out here easily. Let's do that. The fortunate situation is if we zoom out, you can see that there's a bigger downtrend happening right here, right? So we're going downwards, right? So effectively, we should be retesting the lows here. But let's take a look at trading difference and see if we can figure out which direction based on trading different.davincij15.com for 10% off, which direction Bitcoin would like to go and why, and how we can best trade this. Now, I'd be careful here because we are consolidating, it looks like, to decide on a direction just yet. It hasn't decided yet, it looks like, and you can see that there's very little liquidity at the lower levels. It might come and chase after this liquidity here because, the bulls are probably just going, yeah, it's going higher. And so it just wants to smack the bulls. So we could see that. Let me just move this out of the way. Let me just see what price action this is. You can't see it, but it is 95.75 around that area where you can see we could dip down in there to wipe out all these bulls here before we go off to the bears at the, look at that, at the $102,000 mark. So I would say that since the trend is your friend to the end, I think it's an easier trade here to go to short right down to this level here. So let's do that. Let's go down to the lower time frames and take a short-term trade. And yeah, it doesn't mean that we're absolutely going to win this one. So please make sure you do put in stop losses, and you only take a small loss on this trade if it were to fail on us. So you see, we're gonna stop loss it into outside of this bull flag. This flag could turn into a bull flag very easily, as it could just fail. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, we're gonna take it inside the range 2-to-1. And so we could actually, with this particular trade, we could actually move our stops to break even or 50%, and then keep it going all the way down to the 95-ish area, so that we can actually profit heavily from that trade. Okay, let's take a look at Ethereum. The scary thing about Ethereum is that it triple topped, and there's lots of M's. There's lots of like evil looking faces. It's smiling. The market's smiling at us. There's lots of like negativity that it is basically, the chart says, walk away from Ethereum. Just walk away, and we'll leave you with your lives. Just walk away and put an end to the horror. Yeah, if you own Ethereum, I think this would be the time to just walk into Bitcoin and forget about it. Looking at this chart, there's no happiness. There's zero happiness. There's no indication that this is going to reverse. We can see that, wait a second here. I mean, we can probably go, oh, okay, wait a second here. There is something. There's something, actually. There is something. I just saw it. That we've hit this support line, right? This is a support line. So there's some happy joy right there. The key support line has not been broken. Upward trending line, sorry, not support, upward trending line. So we could say, okay, look, it's not good, looking good, but we haven't broken the upward supporting, so a trend line. There's additional trend line here. We could see that we can probably draw out here. That could be a support here, right here. And we haven't broken that one either. So with a candle body, right? On the daily, on the weekly. Weekly. So with that said, that's the only positive news or positive thing you see in Ethereum. Now, we're in a bull market, right, for crypto in general, right? Effectively, we can say that Ethereum is going to have to turn around. And so, okay, great. Ethereum has to turn around. Let's find a breakout level here on Ethereum. And I guess this downward trend has to be broken, right? So that for us to say we are going to be bullish. Let's go down to the lower time frames so that we can make a small trade. Because, okay, the trade and the smaller time frame does not reflect which way we think the market is generally going to go for Ethereum. And let's just take a look at this. We can see that we've hit, I think this green one is the support line, so we're not going to, it's a trend line, the upward trend line, so I'm not going to count that as a support line, I don't think. Let's go to hourly, downward moving situation here, and let's just go to see what trading different says for us. More liquidity below than there is above. So effectively, there's a good chance, right? Because there's a lot of people going long here because they think, well, they got liquidated. So twice, this is the second time we've come down to $1,000 down. The odds of us doing that again, right, are slow. So they're loading up the boats right here early for a long-term trade, which makes sense actually. I'm going to just reload this one while I'm waiting because we are going to go into Solana as well. And so effectively, I think we have an option around, but not much, so $2,600-ish area. So we can see a $2,600, pull down to the $2,600 before we could reverse higher. So let's go for that. Let's go for that. This short trade on, just a temporary short trade on Ethereum. Going down to 2,600 is not that big of a deal. It's still inside of a range. It's still, it still can reverse here, and we won't, but it won't reverse right away. So yeah, it's an easy an easy trade for a short-term trade. Now, this is only short-term. This could occur very, very fast. Let's see if we can get something. Let's keep this very tight, right just above that last wick. If it goes above that wick, then that's it. Go down to the 15-minute so we can see this. And there it is, right there. Let's see here. I think we have to get into a little bit of an entry here. We're still in the range. We got a 2 to 1. Oh, no, we're still not 2 to 1 yet. So let's go the 2 to 1. And I think that still keeps us in the range. Yeah, there we go. And there you have it, right? You have an easy trade. No guarantees from the management. Please do your own research and decide if this trade is for you. Make sure you hit the stop loss, set the stop loss, set the take profits. Especially on this one, I would set the take profits on this one. I wouldn't go beyond that more than you could probably try to take it all the way to the 2600, but I would advise against it. Moving on to Solana for the final trade. Let's just see. Solana again, we're seeing lots of M's, and this is another breakdown. Clearly, a breakdown is coming here. So let's take a look at trading different. Look at that. The breakdown has a close friend indeed to help eat up the liquidity, which is like at the lower level of damn, that's low. That's a little low, man. Let's see, $166, right? Oof. Hard to believe that it would break all the way down here, right? But with that said, let's just take the pattern here, the short-term M pattern, which is right from here to here, and then see where that takes us, and just take a short to that level, which is just, just below the $187 mark, just above this support line. So yeah, there you go. It's a nice little short trade that you can take on Solana as well. All right. And we can do that. I think that would be a nice 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio right there. And then we don't have to touch anything. And there it is. There's the trade for today for Solana. Okay, there we go. We have a trade for every short-term trade for every asset here. And yeah, I think we're clear on the direction that we're heading a little bit down before we come back up. I think we're heading back up for sure. It's just, we have to correct down a little bit more before we actually start our move higher. All right, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.